In relationships, what happens is that when people are very angry at you, whether it's a partner or a child, um, whatever your level of comfort is with conflict is tested. So if you came from a family where people did not argue, and you live in a family where people argue, you might be missing some fundamental tools on how to respond. You may just kind of shut down and give in, or you might come from a family where there was conflict and you fight back, or you may come from the first family and still fight back. So we want to really sort of understand how we respond when we're overwhelmed, and to connect it to these moments when our children are very dysregulated and yelling at us or cursing at us. Or in my family, eye rolling was something that really triggered my husband and was a big no-no. So, when kids are dysregulated, they are uncomfortable. It's not comfortable for anyone to be like that. And I would ask or say, that 9 times out of 10, kids feel a level of discomfort or regret about how they've acted after that. They may feel justified in their beliefs, but they may also feel like, you know what, it was okay that I did that because they deserved it. So I think that it's important to figure out in a calm moment, how are you going to respond when things start to escalate? Because it's during these escalations that people say and do things that they regret, but that also feel that can be lasting hurts. One of the things that I've learned is that when parents are yelling at their children, and I have actually, to be honest, learned this from my own parenting failures. When I lost it with my second child, they felt abandoned by me in some way. They felt unsafe with me. And I think it goes the other way, because they would yell at me and I would also feel very, very unsafe in the same way. So I think that what this calls for is creating some kind of family agreement about what's going to happen when things get close to the boiling point. Because once you're in the boiling point, trying to figure out how to manage doesn't work. So you want to basically have a plan, have a strategy that you can apply for those moments. Kids can be disrespectful. That's part of individuation. It's not a great part of it. It's not their best colors, but they do it. And so we want to know how we can respond. We want to have a way to respond in advance rather than trying to pull it out of the air in the moment. So I think that when kids are disrespectful, you can say anything from fresh as for vegetables to, we're going to take that stop right now. We're going to take that pause because this isn't going anywhere good. And, you can walk to a different part of the house and your child could literally follow you still screaming. I would close the door to I and other of my clients have closed the door to their bedroom and sat next to the door and had a child banging on it on the other side or yelling at them. That is, very uncomfortable, and you're setting a limit. But you're not going to teach anything about disrespect in those moments. They're just too far gone. So what we want to do is really be very clear about what limits you are going to set when things are highly activated or kids are basically just, in an amygdala hijacked and can't retract themselves. That's the most important thing. So have 1 or 2 phrases at your fingertips that you can say, and 1 or 2 behavior options, and then do those. And with kids who are oppositional, with kids who are really in the middle of this, you can say, we have a choice here. This or this. Which is your choice? And they'll say, neither. I don't want to choose any of those. And you'll say, the agreement that we have is you're going to choose this or this. And In the agreement, there's a non-cooperation clause. So you have something to fall back to. But you need to have a plan in advance. Trying to figure it out in the moment is not okay. You can't make your kids treat you with respect. You can treat them respectfully, and you can expect that they are going to push up against you as in part of the process of figuring out who they are. A great metaphor for this is someone once told me, which I love, which is, when elk come of age, I don't know if you've ever seen this, or deer come of age, they have, antlers. Males have these big racks, and they're covered with velvet. And the velvet has to come off the antlers. And in order to get the velvet off the antlers, they have to rub that antler up against a tree. And they can scratch the tree. They might tear some of the bark off, but they rub their antlers against that tree, and then they step back, and then they frolic with their other elk buddies, and the velvet's hanging down. They kind of like our pimply adolescents, and then they'll do it again. And the tree is steady. The tree is very clear. The tree doesn't, go up to them and pull the velvet off. The tree says, I'm here. I'm here. And this is what attachment theory teaches us. I'm here and I'm steady. And these are the limits of what I can do, and what I will tolerate, and these are the limits of what I won't. Very long answer, but I think it's important to go over that.